What's up? What's up? How y'all doing today? How y'all doing in the world today? How's everybody? Let me know in the comments where you're watching from, so I can see who's all here. Where you signing in from? I got a word today. I got a word today. I got a message that I know somebody needs to hear. That's just been put on my spirit, and so I'm gonna give it today. But let me know in the comments where you're watching from right now. What's up, y'all? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I've been on these live sessions. We talked about fear last week, and I had a lot of people commenting that they fear not knowing what to do, right? Like not knowing what to do next. If someone does this or if this happens, what do I do next? And so it's been sitting with me for a few days. So I wanna go into that a little bit. Got Jacksonville, Florida, SoCal in the building. What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? And basically, what I want to talk about is breaking breaking those barriers, right? Those barriers that we have that are keeping you from your ultimate goals. So I'm gonna tell you how to break through some of those barriers. Make sure y'all can hear me all right. I might need to adjust my mic here. Is the audio good? Yeah, so again, last week, so many people were saying that they had the fear of not knowing what to do. What's up, San Antonio? We got Chicago in the building. Man, I love Chicago. I haven't been to San Antonio in a good minute though. Like literally since I was younger, I haven't been to San Antonio. I got to make my way down there. Look, for those of y'all that are on right now, I'm actually having a live mastermind event here in Dallas in September. So I definitely love for you to come out. I love to meet y'all, shake hands, and drop some knowledge. Help somebody break through and break free, just like we're going to do today. I want to talk about breaking those barriers, right? Breaking those barriers that are keeping you from achieving your goals, from reaching your goals. A big reason why a lot of people don't reach their goals are because of these barriers. They're faced with unexpected things that come up. There's unexpected things that come up in any situation really, and instead of working through those unexpected things, we tend to just give up or throw in the towel. And by give up, I don't mean completely leave the business, completely quitting or things like that. What I mean is give up on that action that you are trying to take to get you to that next level. Right? We start saying, I don't want to do that no more, or I don't know how to do that, so I'm not going to. Those are all barriers, right? They lead to you being discouraged, right? You feel discouraged, you feel unaccomplished. Then you start that chatter, that self-talk that you're not good enough, or this isn't meant for you. It's not going to work out, whatever the case may be, all from these situations that ultimately hold you back, right? Because at the end of the day, they just hold you back from what you're set to achieve. Remember, I said a couple of weeks ago, like the idea that you have in your head, growing this real estate business, becoming successful, that idea was put in your head for a reason, right? You're meant to hit that. You're meant to hit that, but things come along the way to throw you off, and some of them do, right? Some of them do throw you off. They throw you off course. But again, at the end of the day, you have to remember that you are meant to hit that. You are meant to achieve that goal. Nobody said it's going to be easy, and you may be faced with more obstacles than the next person in your mind, but still at the end of the day, you're meant to achieve that. One thing about me, I moved to Texas to start my real estate business from Georgia. And people ask me all the time, like, If you would have started while you were in Georgia, or if you would have grew your business in Georgia, would it have been easier, and would you have had success quicker? And I always tell them yes. I tell them yes. I knew a lot of people there. I was very well connected. I loved the real estate there. If it probably would have happened a lot quicker, but that wasn't the plan, right? It wasn't the plan. It wasn't how the cards played out. And I'm okay with that, right? Because at the end of the day, I still know what's meant for me. That idea was still there, and I wasn't going to give up on it because it's meant for me. That idea that you have in your head on being successful in this business, it's meant for you. And you have to know that. You have to know that wholeheartedly, that this is meant for you. You are meant to be successful. You are meant to make a lot of money. You are meant to help a lot of people, right? You got to know that, and you got to believe it. See, some people, they don't believe that they're meant to be successful. They don't believe that they're going to be successful. You're focusing on someone else's success, and you're telling yourself, that's not me, right? I don't have what this person has. I can't do what they're doing. But see, that's where you're wrong on that, because remember, you're watching them. You're watching their success, and you're not focusing on your own. You're meant to have it. It just may look differently. It may happen differently. I had to find this out for myself. I had to go through some struggles before I even became comfortable going down the path that I knew that was meant for me. I had to stop watching everybody else, stop looking at everybody else and comparing myself to them, because at the end of the day, that's not for me. That's for them. And you got to be okay with that. Like, you got to come to terms with that, right? Your struggle is going to be different from my struggle. It's going to be different from somebody else's struggle. But whatever you struggle in, wherever those struggles lie, that's a part of your story. That's a part of your story. And that's ultimately what's going to make you successful. Think about it. Everybody has a come up story. Everybody has a come up story. You read people's books, you watch their videos. There's always a story there. So you have to recognize that this happens. But your story is not my story, or it's not that guy or that lady's story. It's your story. And you have to be secure in knowing that what you are doing is building your story. It's building your road to success. You got to build this road. In order for other people to travel on it, you got to build it up. Drop me a like on this video right quick. Please do me that quick favor. Drop me a like on this video. I'm about to talk to you about breaking these barriers, right? That you have to really achieve your goals, or to really achieve your goals. So get out a sheet of paper, be prepared to take notes, because this is something that, for one, I think everybody needs to hear. But secondly, what I've come to realize is a lot of people, they're not being real with themselves. Okay. And it's something that we all experience. We all experience this. But at some point, you have to get real with yourself. We work in a career where everybody wants to make everything seem perfect. And, oh, I'm so busy. Oh, I have so many clients, got so much money. When at the end of the day, you're not even being real with the other people. You're definitely not being real with yourself. So it's time to really get real about what these barriers are, about what's holding us back in business, in growing. Let me know in the comments right now, what's something that's holding you back. You know that it's a barrier. You know that it's something that you want to overcome. You can be way more successful if you can overcome this. Let me know in the comments something that is holding you back. Okay. Now, one way to get over some of these barriers is we have to plan for them. We have to plan for them. And that's why I want y'all to put into the comments, what's a barrier that you're facing? What's something that's holding you back? Be honest with me. Be honest with me about something that is holding you back, because that is the first step. We have to recognize this and recognize that it actually exists. Like, this is a true barrier that is holding me back. I'm seeing in the comments, I'm not good enough because I'm not an extrovert. That's a powerful one. I'm not good enough because I'm not an extrovert. Guess what? Guess what? I'll tell you something. I'm an introvert. 100%. 100%. I'll tell you that. But what I've done and what I'm going to teach you today is preparing yourself for this. Preparing yourself so that you are able to overcome these moments when you feel like this introvert type of personality is coming over you and holding you back from actually getting the job done. I'll tell you something that's helped me, right? Is that I say in my head, I'm just playing a role right now. I'm playing a role. It's like I'm on a movie set, or I'm an actor. Like, when I would go into those appointments and I would feel like, oh my gosh, I'm just not an extrovert. I'm not good at talk. Like, what do I need to do to play this role so that I can accomplish this goal that I'm trying to receive? It wasn't natural to me. It wasn't a natural behavior, right? We have those behaviors that are natural behaviors, but then we also have learned behaviors. It was a learned behavior for me. I learned how to speak out loud. I learned how to say what needs to be said, do what needs to be done. At the end of the day, though, I'm still just little old me. I'll sit in the corner, quiet little guy in the corner, but I know when I need to turn it on. Okay, let me get back over here. Fear, that's real. That's real. My limiting beliefs. Yep. Yep. What is this other barrier? Dealing or going against older realtors in my brokerage. Yeah. Dealing and going against older realtors in the brokerage. I get that one. So let's talk about these barriers right quick. Now, there are two types of barriers. There's your internal barriers, right? Those ones that are inside of you. And then there are those external barriers. Okay, those barriers that are around you that you can't necessarily control, right? These are two types of barriers that you have to overcome. There's the internal ones, those ones that live inside of us, right? Those are those thoughts that we have, those thoughts about success, those thoughts that hold you back from being successful. They're your personal fears, right? There are those personal fears. Remember last week, I talked about fear a lot. I talked about fear, and if you haven't seen that video, go back and watch that video, because the goal with fears is that we have to minimize fear as much as possible. We have to make fear as small as possible. Okay, because what ends up happening is you have a fear and you get to thinking about that fear, and you think about it more and think about it more, and then it starts expanding. It starts expanding, and eventually it takes over you. And the only way you can feel better at the end of the day is if you just avoid the situation overall. But that's not really facing your fear. That's not going to do anything. We have to make that fear so small that it doesn't even affect you. You know when it shows up, but you also know what to do when it does show up. That's the goal with fear. There's motivation, right? Is your motivation an internal barrier? Like, how motivated do you feel when you wake up? How motivated do you feel at the end of the day? right? That's an internal barrier. Another one, self-esteem, right? Self-esteem. So an example of going against the older agents, what is it about that? Let's diagnose that one a little bit deeper. What is it about going against the older agents in your brokerage? Do you feel less than them? Right? Do you feel like they look better? Like, what is it? Because it may point back to oneself, a self-esteem. And look, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm not trying to offend anybody by any means, but we got to get real about this. I love y'all so much, and I want y'all to achieve everything out there that's meant for you. But in order for that to happen, we got to get real about some things. And that includes being real about us, our self-esteem. You know, let me hop back over here. I feel like I'll be more successful if I move from Los Angeles. Yep. Excuse me. Yeah, so those internal barriers, right? Your personal fears, your motivation, your self-esteem. So let's start to take some of these situations, right? Because they're true barriers, but I want to teach you how to break through them, how to minimize them, how to start to move past them, right? And here's the trick with them. Here's the trick with them. It's all baby steps. You got to take baby steps with this. Okay, so I want you to start to reframe these internal barriers that you have and think in a sense of, okay, what's something that I can do? Like, what's one brick that I can remove to eventually break down this wall? Here's an example, right? I know a lot of people have a fear of cold calling, all right? Fear of cold calling, fear of getting on the phone, using scripts, talking to another person, however big you want to make it. So what's one way we can minimize that? One way you can start to minimize that would be to practice it with a friend. Literally, I did this at the beginning of my career. I can call her up right now. One of my good friends, I would hear her up and say, hey, I need to practice cold calling. So all I need you to do is sit on the phone and act like you are somebody who doesn't want to give me any business. Okay. I know she was my friend, so I wasn't going to be hurt by anything she was saying or doing. I know that she had my best interest out there. But what also happened with that is she started telling me how good I was, right? How good I was. And trust me, y'all, I wasn't good by any means. But what was she doing? She was boosting me up. She was giving me a confidence in it that I didn't think that I had. And so that's something you can easily do. Hop on the phone with somebody who you're already friends with and practice this. Practice this. You're going to get to a point, I'll tell you, you're going to get to a point where you say to yourself, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. I want to do it. And then you're going to go get on that first phone call. It may not be the best, but what? You got somebody there that you can practice with. Okay. That's a small way to begin to overcome that internal thing in your mind of why you can't make those calls that you need to make every day. All right. What if you are a big procrastinator, right? Right. You procrastinate about things. And this happens. Be real with yourself again. Again, don't sit there and say, oh, I never procrastinate or nothing like that. Like, be real with yourself right now. All right. Because that is a true internal barrier. Right. So what about if you got somebody to help you with that? Do you share things that you need to do? Like, do you share goals with somebody, a friend, sister, an assistant, whoever? Ask someone to keep you accountable for hitting things. I had to do this, and I'm just being real and honest. I was a big procrastinator. I would have all these ideas. I would say I want to do all these different things, and I wasn't doing them. I was letting things come up. I was busy with other stuff. So I had to get somebody to hold me accountable, to keep me on task. Okay. So Think about what's something internal, what's an internal barrier that you have. And if you want to tell me one in the comments, I can help you work through it. But think about what's one that you have and what's something small that you can do to start breaking that down. Let me hop over here. Mm-mm-mm. Yep, limiting belief can definitely cripple you. Limiting beliefs can definitely cripple you. Excuse me. Okay, then we have those external barriers, right? And these are the real ones too. These external barriers like money, right? Oh, I don't have any money, or I'm low on money. Other people's reactions to your stuff. How many of you fear that? How many of you are scared about what someone thinks? What someone thinks, is that holding you back? How they're going to react to your video or your picture or whatever. Resources, right? You don't feel like you have the same resources as someone else. You don't have the same track record as someone else. You haven't been in the game as long as someone else. All these external factors, all these external barriers, right? Someone said no to you putting their home on the market or wanting to work with you as their agent. Let's start to break those down, right? How can we break through that? One thing that I found, and I'm going to center this around appointments and stuff. One thing that I find is that a lot of people receive no's, right? They don't get the business, they don't get the listing, they don't get the buyer, but you never ask why you didn't get it, right? How can you improve on something if you don't necessarily know what you did wrong or why it didn't work out for you? Okay, you can't make it better. You can't start to overcome whatever you did wrong, or you got to find out what the issue is. If that client didn't hire you, ask them why not. What could I have done better? What was the deciding factor that made you go with that other agent? Find out what it truly is. It may not be that they're older than you. It may not be that they've been in the business longer than you. It could be something that you can easily improve on, but you would never know unless you would ask. On the flip side, even with that, when people do decide to do business with you, ask them, why did you decide to say yes? Because you want to know that. And then from there, you could do that over and over and over again, right? So all of that is important to you growing as a real estate agent, as a business owner, right? One thing that like I really had to get better about, me being an introvert and me trying to build a business and all that, I really had to get better about putting myself out there in ways that I had never really done before, you know. And by putting myself out there, I'm not saying like videos and all that. All of that stuff came with it, but putting myself out there and doing things and actions that I had never really done before. I grew up in a black household. My mama was a little strict. You don't ask why. She tell you no, you don't ask why. And that was in my mind, like I could never ask why. I could never figure out why is this person saying no to me. But that was just some belief that I had. People ask why left and right. People ask why every day. And again, that's the only way that you can improve on it, right? I had that belief in me that you're not gonna speak unless spoken to, right? Like that's how it was at my household. You're not speaking unless spoken to. The complete opposite of what it needs to be. The complete opposite. I need to speak. I need to create conversation. I need to put myself out there. So these are two examples of things that got put in my head and that I was trained on or grew up with that would do nothing for me going down this road. So I had to break these beliefs down. Like I was going to get in trouble or something. I had to break these beliefs down in order for me to remove those barriers, right? I had to get real about it, start breaking these beliefs down in order to remove those barriers and ultimately get a different level of success. There's probably some things right now that you had to deal with as a kid. I don't know if y'all got whoopings. I got whoopings. You probably got a whooping for some stuff as a kid that literally has no relevance to today. It has no relevance to what you're doing in your business. There's so many things in the community, especially in the Black community, that we just have ingrained in us that ultimately keep us below, keep us shielded, keep us sitting in our place. And it took a lot for me to break away some of that stuff. But I had to get real and recognize that it exists. Like, it exists. These are real internal barriers within me, right? And then I had to get real about the external barriers. Okay, yeah, I ain't got no money. I didn't have any money, right? Trying to build this business. I don't have no money. Okay, that's a fact. That's a fact. And it exists. I recognize it. But what is holding me back, right? What is holding me back from getting money? Okay, what is that thing that's holding you back from getting the money? Oh, I'm not a good networker, right? What's holding you back from being a good networker? Do you need to take a course on networking? Do you need to place yourself in situations where you can network? Or do you just need to go out there and try? Most times people haven't even tried. They're just assuming that they won't be good at something. Everybody at a networking event, which is something like I really love about networking, is because everybody there is trying to network. Like, you're literally at an event that people want to talk. They want to get your information. They want to get a contact that's going to help their business. Okay, you're placing yourself in that situation. And maybe that's where you have to start. Start at a networking event, right? Where everyone is literally there to network and they want to network and talk to you. And then once you get good at that, then break out and just to random places, talking to people, networking with people. It's those types of steps, again, that we have to take to break down these internal and external barriers. Now, you have to know, right, that this is not going to happen overnight. And you shouldn't get frustrated if it doesn't happen overnight. It's all a process. But I'll tell you this, and everybody listening to this right now, I'm going to tell you this: the fact that you are willing to go down this process and go down this road, it's automatically going to put you ahead of so many people. Because think about all the people around you. It could be family and friends, right? I have family members who literally are still being held back. They're at this point, they're being held back in their minds, but nonetheless, they're being held back. All right. They don't want to recognize that they're being held back. They just want to say that this is the way it is. This is the way that it has to be done. Y'all, that's crap. That is complete BS. It is not the way it has to be done. It is not the way it has to be done. You do not have to feel nor be nor conduct your business less than anybody else. It's our time right now. It's our time, and it's time to make it happen. If we rise up together, right? We need to rise up together. So it's not just going to become this, oh, that guy knows how to do it, or oh, that lady, she has this and that. No, if we come up as a unit, all doing it together, they can't use that excuse anymore. You can't use that excuse anymore. And that's what the goal needs to be. I mean, that's why I'm doing these, hopping on here live, because there's just so many lessons out there that people aren't talking about, right? And we have different struggles that people aren't talking about. We can't just minimize this to an appointment or to a call. There's things in our mind that we have to unlock that have been locked up since childhood, right? With that key buried deep. Now it's time to unlock this stuff now. I'm hopping over here in these comments. Yes, I love it. I love it. But yeah, thank y'all for hanging out with me. I'll be back later this week. But think about that. Think about what those internal and those external obstacles are. Right? What are those barriers that you're putting on yourself? Can you drop me a like on this video, please? What are those barriers that you're putting on yourself? Do this. Write them down. Write them down. Think about all areas in your life and business right now. Anything that's holding you back from something. Anything that's holding you back from any achievement. And I want you to write them down. Write them down. Look at them. Okay? Once you've written them down and you've looked at them, from there, I need you to set a number on how big is this really, with 10 being this is a huge deal, this is very big, this is a very big barrier, down to 1 meaning like this ain't nothing. This ain't nothing. I promise you, what you're going to see is the ones that you think are big and huge aren't as big as they are. They're not as big as they are. But the reason why you felt like they were big and that they were taken over was because you hadn't recognized them yet. You hadn't recognized what they actually were. And so they felt like they were bigger. They felt like they would do more harm to you. Same thing with fear, right? We can sometimes feel like a fear is bigger than it actually really is. And then once you do that, I want you to do that exercise that I just did with y'all a few minutes ago. Okay, think of a baby step that you can take. To start to break down that barrier. Right? Think of a baby step you can take. Don't put on there become a master cold caller. Don't put on there become a master net. No. Be realistic with yourself. Think of a baby step that you can take to start to break down that barrier. All right, and I'll help you with this. Right? I'll keep doing this as long as I have to. But you want to think of a baby step. When I come back on Thursday, let me know. Let me know. But you got to do this exercise, and you got to be real about it. Be real with yourself. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all so much. We are gonna make it happen this year. Thursday at 2 p.m. I'm gonna be doing a 2 p.m. Eastern time. I'm gonna come on here live. I'm going to do this class, The Model Explained, because I want to help more people become wealthy this year. So I'm going to show y'all the plan for that, the plan that's fueling some of my decisions. So I'm going to do that on Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern, right here on my channel. Be sure to subscribe, hit that bell icon, so that you get notified when I am live. I don't have these on a schedule, right? I don't have these on a schedule, and I'm not going to put them on a schedule. I want this to be true and organic. The best way to find out when I'm coming live is make sure that you are subscribed and that you hit that bell icon, because that bell icon is what notifies you. I love y'all. I'll see you soon. Take care. Have a great rest of your week. Get out there. Make this happen. You are meant for it. You're meant for it. We just got to put some action behind some stuff. Okay? I'll see y'all soon.